Hey guys, welcome to week 1 and your first workout, which you can choose to do at any time during this week and follow along with me. I'm going to take you through a pretty simple workout today, and I want to show you some options. Really, today is going to be a good opportunity for me to show you some options in terms of that push-up or prone plank position, which is especially relevant if you have any separation, so abdominal separation after having kids, or if you're not particularly strong in those positions. So I've chosen some movements where we can really get you using some variations to it. Know that you've also got your written workout that you have in the files section of our Facebook forum. And also this week we'll be doing a live video, which you'll have that option to jump in and do with me live. So that's a lot of fun. As always, no question is a silly question. So if something doesn't make sense to you or you're not quite sure what your option might be, then just ask. Totally here to support you and each other on this journey. Let's get started with your warm-up. So just coming into a squat position first, and for some of you this might even feel a little bit tight or uncomfortable, especially if you've not really worked in this full range of motion for a long time. So sometimes, especially if you're really tight through the calves and the ankles, you might find that you actually have to sit up quite high and just get that movement of your knee pushing out over the toes, really flexing at the foot and trying to keep the heels on the ground. We would love to see you gradually, and our clients will tell you that we start most sessions off like this, and we would love to see you gradually being able to drop down into that full squat position and also start to sit up tall and sit up high. So you get that bit of thoracic extension as well. We're going to reach up overhead, so now we start to sort of open up around the lats as well and just get moving through the shoulders. I'm using my other arm to really push open that knee. We're just going to go for 2 more, and then we're going to come into a bit more of a posterior chain stretch. So starting just down on hands and knees, tuck your toes under, push through the palms of your hand, and just drive up high with the butt. So we're just going to do a couple reps like that, and you should feel this into the hamstrings and the calves. When you come forward this time, rock forward and bring that heel and that foot up in underneath the hips. And then push back again, sit down into the heels, push through the hands, and then bring the other leg up and under. Now I'm pretty tight through that right side, so you'll see how my knee isn't very much at a right angle. It's because I'm tight. Push back, we'll do 1 more either side, come up in and under and see if you can go a little bit further. And also see if you can shift your weight back a little bit, so sit back into it. If this is too strong for you at all, you just go back to the knees at any time. So I can still go from the knees, yeah? And I'm just trying to sit back and really feel that stretch in the glute. Awesome. Releasing that and just walk your hands and feet in, and we're going to come into a squat and rotate. So you'll squat down, hands go to the outside of one knee, and you'll rotate round behind you. So inhale, exhale, and I'm trying to really squeeze both knees out at the same time as I take those hands to the opposite knee. Change sides, so down on that diagonal, up and around. Follow the hands with the eyes. And you should start to feel a little bit warmer as we move through this and through these movements. Take a big long step back now. Hands up behind your head. Stick your chest out and stick your butt out and just start pushing your butt back behind you, and I'll make you bend forward. And then push through that front heel and drive up to standing again. So all I'm doing is sliding my hips back, sticking my chest out and sticking my butt out. You can either come up onto that back toe, or you can drop the heel down, and if you're really tight through the calves, you might feel a bit of a stretch there as well. Let's change over sides. So big long step back, get your balance, and remember really peeling the elbows back and sticking the chest out. So I can't see my elbows in my peripheral vision. I'm switching on those upper back muscles to really pull them back. And again, you want to just really sit the hips back like you're trying to touch a wall behind you. Awesome. Big long step back now, but drop down onto the back knee and then step in and switch over legs. Other leg steps back, come in, start to speed it up a little bit. We're going to really squeeze in between the shoulder blades and open the chest, and then squeeze the chest as we come in. Don't be afraid when I tell you got to push up today. It's not that scary, and you'll always have options with these workouts, and you'll just do as many reps as feels comfortable for you. So that is our warm-up, guys. And now we're going to take you through the workout. So it's push-up variations. I don't think you can really see the whiteboard back up there behind me, but push-up variations and kneeling to standing is our workout. So now I just want to take you through the two movements that we're going to use today. Today's workout is 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And I've intentionally done this because it's the same time or work to rest ratio that you've got in your written program for this week. And it will just allow you to get familiar with that and learn how to use your timer and work into that kind of equal work-rest ratio. So you have push-up variations today, and it'll be a kneeling to standing movement as well. You have push-ups, and as a variation, you can either go from the ground, of course, which I'll take you through, or if you struggle with that, or you haven't exercised or trained in a long time, or this is a movement that you find quite difficult, or if you know you have abdominal separation, then you want to bring the floor up to you. So you want to be working from a higher incline, so that way you're not parallel to the ground where there's more force put on that TBA. The higher the height is, the easier it's going to be, because the more vertical you are, the less of your body weight you have to push. Now you might not all have a box like this at home, but you can use the back of your lounge, you can use a chair, you can use a bench, you can use a table. Anything that's stable and safe for you. So I want you to practice this warm up here with me now, and if you're doing it from an incline, that's a great way to warm up. And I want you to sort of come up onto your tippy toes and drop the tailbone forward so you can squeeze your butt. Place your hands a little bit wider than chest width apart, so your thumbs will be about at your armpit, but they're at nipple height. And you'll drop down, breathe out, and really push the ground or push that, that height away from you. If you really struggle with that and that still feels too strong, find a wall. I'm sure you all have a wall at home, and do exactly the same thing from the wall. Lower your face to the wall, breathe out, push up. Inhale, exhale. If you're going from the ground, practice here with me here, even if it's only for one rep. Your hand placement is the same. You can lower down from your toes, drop your knees, and push up from your knees. Flick back up onto your toes, drop the chest, breathe out, push up. Your breath is really important, and we'll talk a bit more about that as we move through as well. If you're going from knees from the ground, I really want you to keep your toes in contact with the ground and try and keep the pelvis lifted as you drop the chest. So I want you to really think your key take-home point is that you're staying in alignment from your knees to your shoulders, and you're hitting your boobs to the ground first, not the front of your pelvis to the ground first. Your next movement is a kneeling to standing. So starting on the knees, hands up behind your head, and I'm going to get you to really use your breath again here. So big deep breath out, come up to standing. Lower back down onto your knees. Use your other leg now, breathe out. Really drive up like with a lot of force. This is going to feel super easy for some of you. It's going to feel super hard for some of you. Okay, so use your options. If you really struggle with this, again, excuse me while I disappear and come back. If this feels really hard for you, get something to hang on to and use that to push through as you come up. Yeah, so that can just give you that little bit of added support in that movement. I'm going to give you guys some variations to that kneeling to standing as we move through your set as well, if you want to make it a bit harder. let's get started. This is just 8 minutes and we want to get stuck in and get you guys moving. So 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. I'm using my little timer here and it will beep for us. So here we go, starting with your push-up. 30 seconds on, you ready? Let's go. Using your height variation, remember I just want to walk you through this. You got your hands at armpit height. Breathe out and really drive away. Same from the ground, drop. I want you to use that knee break so you can really focus on keeping the pelvis still and strong. Inhale down, knees, exhale up. Rest. Now you get that 30 seconds off. So 30 on, 30 off. This is set 1 of 4, okay? Now grab a cushion or grab a towel quickly if this feels really strong for you, with your knees on the ground. Remember, we're putting our hands up behind our head, and just like we did in the warm-up, you want to really open up and keep the chest open without flaring the rib cage. So open there, but keep tucked under a little bit with the pelvis. Here we go. Breathe out, come up. Inhale, drop back down. Everyone just stay with your variation or your choice of progression or regression with this first set, and I'll show you some harder options as we move through the second and third set. We're alternating the leg that steps up, so really push through the heel, push off the back leg and drive up. Slow it down if this is hard for you. Speed it up and do more reps if this feels easy for you. Rest. That's it. That's one set done. We've only got 3 more to go. So see how that feels? How did the push-up feel? Can you make it a bit harder? Do you need to make it a bit easier so you can pull back and concentrate on technique? I'm going to do mine here from the ground and just keep talking you guys through that option. And know that this is a lot of core awareness. So remember, the hands are a bit wider. Find where it's comfortable for your wrists. Push up onto the toes and try really hard to hit the boobs or your chest to the ground first. Now again, if you want to speed this up and get more reps out, go for it. You might be aiming for 10 to 12. Some of you might be aiming for 4 to 6. You might need to rest back a little bit here. Come up, shake it out, but count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come back in. Really stay accountable to how many reps you can get out in that time. Well done. That's set 2 of push-ups done. Push-ups are evil, aren't they? But there's such a good strength movement for you guys to really learn how to control the spine in the TVA. We're going to talk so much about that, so hang in there and you'll really learn how to feel strong and get strong with those movements. Hands up behind your head again here. Remember, we're not arching back here. I want you to tuck under again at the tailbone. So really, really strong through that TVA or core. Pretend when you breathe out, it's like you're bracing yourself, like someone's going to punch you in the tummy. And at the same time as you do that, I want you to try and draw up or suck up with the pelvic floor. So I don't want you to feel like you're pushing down or bearing down into your vagina. That's not what we want to feel. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, rest. You're halfway, 2 down, 2 to go. So we come back into the third set of push-ups. Can you come from the wall to a lower height? Can you go from your lower height to the floor? This is set 3, okay? So if you're gonna make it harder, do it now. You want to peak now. You want to get as many reps out as you can now. Yeah, before it's that last set. Get ready, roll your shoulders back and down. Go. Inhale down, exhale up. Make this your best set out of your 4. Get it done in set 3 before you get too tired in set 4. How much can you really use your breath? How many more reps can you get out without losing technique? If you need to pull back, pull back. Just watch me if you're not sure how I get that little flick onto the knees. Breathe out, push up, flick onto the toes. Yeah? Rest. Ooh, 3 down. Finishing set 3 in that kneeling to standing movement. Here's a variation for you. Now, you might find it hard to keep the hands behind the head because you might want to offset the weight a little bit. But see how I lower my knee to the ground first? And see how I'm pointing my back toe and I really use that front leg to drive up. This is a single leg squat variation. And so you can use this here if you want to make it a little bit harder. Other than that, you're coming into that kneeling to standing. Go slow, rest between each rep if you need to. It's totally up to you where you take this workout today, okay? If you haven't trained in a long time, you just want to pull back and just aim for 4 to 6 reps in that 30-second time slot. You don't have to go for the full 30 if you're feeling pretty knackered. But 3 down, 1 to go. This is it. So we're going to cross it off the list here. Last set of push-ups. Control here is really important. If you feel like you're sagging, see if you can tuck the tailbone under and tighten up here a little bit more. Let's really keep in control of it and keep that awareness in that last set. If you need to, you can go a little bit wider with the knees or the feet and give you a bigger base of support. Here you go. Inhale, exhale. Keep going. Set your position. Be strong. Don't tell yourself you can't do it because you know you can. You've already done 3 of these. This is just 1 more. Rest. Push-ups are done. Last set in that kneeling to standing option. Now, if you are totally knackered, yeah, all I want you to do is just see if you can work a little stand back, stand in, stand back, stand in. Not everyone's handed in their pre-exercise questionnaire, so I want to give you that option just in case your knees are really hurting. Otherwise, you're down and you're getting ready to really drive up. So open the elbows, go, breathe out, push up. So this is your program movement. This is your progression for those of you who regularly train with us, where you might come into that alternating single leg squat. If you're totally done, I really appreciate your involvement and you just doing that little step back, little bend. So it's like a little step up option here. Really squeeze the elbows back. Oh, go one more, Megan. And rest. That's it. You did it, you did it. Woo, 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 woo.